A childhood friend of the Duchess of Cambridge has died after a 3-year battle against a brain tumor in which she suffered the utmost pain, distress and loss of dignity, Mail Online can reveal. Isabel Kennerly, who was a member of Kate's Brownie pack, and went on a pack holiday with Kate and her sister Pippa, succumbed to the disease in May at the age of 34. Now her mother Christina Lee, who lives in Newbury, is calling for a change in the law to enable terminally ill and mentally competent people to be able to control the manner and the timing of their deaths. The 65-year-old mother of 2, who was left traumatized by her daughter's horrific death, is supporting retired lecturer Noel Conway, 67, who has motor neuron disease, in his high court battle for a dignified death. A verdict is expected in the autumn. Speaking to Mail Online, she said, Isabel became trapped in her body, as Noel Conway fears he will. She couldn't move a muscle, couldn't eat and couldn't speak at the end. She was bedridden for so long that she developed huge hideous, stinking bed sores on her back and buttocks. She cried out endlessly in pain, and when she was able to mumble a few words, begged her husband and me every single day to help her to die. Isabel, who had cerebral palsy, met Kate and her sister Pippa, in 1990, when they joined the first St. Andrew's pack of brownies. She was in Kate's 6 and joined the sisters on a pack holiday in Easter 1991. The trio slept in camp bunk beds in old draft buildings, set in 17 acres at Macaroni Wood, in the Cotswolds, where they fed chickens, collected eggs, watched chicks hatch, bottle-fed lambs and kid goats, and went for horse and cart rides. I really enjoyed it, Isabel said afterwards. Everyone was really kind to me because I have a disability. I remember going to brownie camp at Macaroni Wood and coming back to find an owl at the end of my bed. I don't remember what I did to deserve it, but I remember feeling really pleased. After brownies, Kate and Isabel's paths diverged as the two girls went to different schools, while Kate went to the private prep school St. Andrews, in Pangbourne, and public school Marlborough. Isabel was a pupil at Injallfield Primary School and Newbury's St. Gabriel's and Park House. Kate then went up to St. Andrews University, while Isabel did a degree in educational practice at Oxford Brookes University and later was presented with an award for outstanding achievement by Newbury College, where she was working at the time. She went on to become a teaching assistant at Newbury's St. Bartholomew's School, specializing in caring for autistic children. It was while she was at Newbury College that she met her future husband Scott Kennerly, 33, who was working at a local hotel. The couple married in 2010 and set up home within walking distance of her mother. Yet 4 years later, after signing up for a distance learning master's degree at Canterbury University, Isabel fell ill. She started to get pains in the left-hand side of her body, said Mrs. Lee, who also has a son Alexander, 37, a project manager for insurance company. We all thought it was her cerebral palsy. She was really struggling. She gradually had to be in a manual wheelchair and then in a power chair. We went back to the GP time and time again, but nobody got to the bottom of what was causing her pain. In the end, I insisted we saw a neurologist. Isabel was diagnosed with a tumor at Reading's Royal Berkshire Hospital in September 2014, after being given an MRI scan, and was referred to Oxford's John Radcliffe Hospital for treatment. It was there, after having a biopsy, that she discovered she had a grade 4 glioblastoma and there was no cure. We were just devastated, her mother said. You never imagine that your child will die before you. But Isabel was so brave. She faced it head-on. Over the next year, Isabel had 6 weeks of daily chemotherapy and radiotherapy treatment before undergoing another 6 months of chemo, which shrunk her tumor by 30%. But by August last year she was unable to walk. Even then she did not give up and was awarded this year's Sue Ryder Southern Woman of Courage Award for her bravery. In March she went into Reading's Sue Ryder Hospice, where she was given days to live. But she suffered for another 7 weeks before dying in May at the age of 34. Isabel was the bravest girl imaginable, said Mrs. Lee. She was born with cerebral palsy and was paralyzed on the left side of her body, but she lived life to the full, always pushing herself beyond her physical limits. She never ever complained about what life had thrown at her, and, even as a child and after many operations to help her mobility, she just smiled her way through life. She certainly didn't deserve to die in the manner in which she did. I don't think she ever imagined that she would suffer so much or that it would get worse. It was just horrific. She begged us to end her life. We talk about people living with cancer, but we never talk about people dying with cancer. That's why I feel so strongly that people should have the choice of how to end their lives. Read more at thedailymail.co.uk.